Well, it's the holiday season once again. Now, about a month ago, I gave you guys probably the most annoying offense in college football 26. If you were challenging some friends or relatives, maybe people you don't want to be friends, people you don't ever want to play again with the split T, split screen offense, maybe that wasn't quite for you. You want to not run some under center, you want to do some shotgun stuff. Well, we're back. We got another incredibly frustrating, annoying offense to go up against. If your little 8-year-old cousin Jimmy comes up, I don't know why Jimmy is not really a kid's name, but whatever his name may be, comes up to you and asks for a game throughout this holiday season, and you just have to go along to be nice, but you don't want him to have a good time, and you don't want him to ever ask you to play the game again. We got something else for you to do here with the Northern Illinois Huskies. Now, am I using this team just because they are my favorite team in real life and I want to shed some light on them, glaze them a little bit? Perhaps. But also, the Wildcat in this NIU playbook is ridiculous. We got 5 different versions of it. Some we can put an actual quarterback in, run some pass plays, and really just make life difficult for whoever you may be going up against. Now, I wouldn't recommend actually using NIU for this because the team in this game, not very good, but if you have a good team with a good fast quarterback, some good speed at other spots, this playbook could drive somebody absolutely insane. So we're just going to hop into practice mode. We're going to go over the 5 different Wildcats, which one we can use a quarterback, which ones we can't, and take it from there. So let's get right to it. As I mentioned, when we get down to Wildcat, and just before we even get into it, NIU in general actually is a very solid playbook. Trips X, you got a lot of trips. X nasty is a very, very good trips. Your Y slot stuff is very good. You got a couple different spreads. You got tight open. So you have a really good shotgun base if you want like a just solid playbook to use. But where it gets a little nasty, we have some good pistol. You have some good single back. You got some options in here. But where it gets gross is this Wildcat. Like I said, we've got 5 different versions of it here. You have your standard Unbalanced. This is one you'll see in almost every playbook that has Wildcat. Most of them have Unbalanced. Then we have Bunch Halfback Strong, Wildcat Bunch Halfback Strong, Wildcat Jumbo Trio, Wildcat Jumbo Z Weak, and Wildcat U Off Trip. So we'll start with Jumbo Z Weak. And this is one of the formations. We can change our package at the bottom middle of your screen here. It says right stick, left to right packages, flick it to the right once, bang. You can have your quarterback in there as well because we actually got a pretty solid pass play in this version of Wildcat with PA Cross. I believe, yeah, that is the only play in here. We've only got 6 total plays in this version of Wildcat. But if you're going up against somebody who's not really paying attention to who that quarterback is, you can swap it in and out. You can change your packages to default. You can put your quarterback in there. If you have a really good fast quarterback with workhorse, I would just keep your quarterback in there all the time. So the pass play out of here, not PAY cross, just PA cross, just a good solid pass play. We can go ahead and run it a couple times just to see how it works. We'll put them in random defense. I kept it against Western Michigan. They are on All-American, just kind of our default difficulty setting here. So this is gonna be a play action. Now in Wildcat, we can't audible, we can't hot route. So the plays are just what they are. Whatever you call is what you call. That part does it bothers me a little bit, but just this play as is. Again, Northern Illinois, just not a good squad. If we had more speed on B, this could be a deep bomb on that post. The crossers are going to be pretty good. We got a couple chip blocks going on our tight ends here too. So we'll see how it works here. I should put NIU's other quarterback in, Jalen Macon. He's a little bit faster, and Holst is just not the guy. But let's see how these chip blocks go. I was hoping eventually they would actually get out there and do something. But we have that short crosser. I want to see if we can ever really actually hit this deep post. It doesn't really look like it. Eventually the chip gets out there. It takes him a little while. But eventually he gets out there and finds some open space. What's nice about those chip blocks is they really won't go out on those routes unless they can. If they're staying in and helping to block, they kind of will actually stay in and help give you a little bit more time here. So watch our guy on the left there. Eventually, once he pushes that rusher into the line, we'll actually go into the replay to look at it because I do think it's really important for this play. Once our tight end over here, whoops, not that guy, this guy, not that guy, not that guy, this guy. So he's staying in his block to chip. So he chips this guy, pushes him into help. He gets engaged by number 75, our guard, and then goes out on his route. So If the defense is overcommitting to the other two routes on the field, you have those chip routes wide open. That actually works pretty well with the crosser as kind of a high-low going to that left sideline. It's really, honestly, a solid pass play. just to have something in there to mix things up a little bit, because everybody, you know, you see Wildcat, you're just thinking it's going to be a run, run, run. Not always going to be the case with the Northern Illinois Wildcat. That's what makes it just so frustrating and annoying to go up against. This halfback wrap, I actually think is really good. It looks like a read option. It's not a read option. This is just, it's called halfback wrap. I don't know a way to get this to go to your halfback. Like, so I'm going to snap this and do nothing, and Holst is going to keep it. I didn't push a button, and it just stays with Holst. There's no way for this to go to Duke that I can find, that I know of, unless it works differently than every other read option in the entire game. There's just no way for this to go to Duke, but it actually sets up pretty well. See, Holst is just so freaking slow. I actually am going to take him out. It actually sets up really well as a quarterback run. That's the thing I really like. I'm going to make this change right now before I forget. The thing I really like about a lot of these formations is we have runs that attack different sides of the field. You have just a quarterback zone run going outside to the right. We have that halfback wrap, the quarterback run. Again, it's called halfback wrap. Why? I couldn't tell you. But another run, this one going to the left with a pulling guard in there. You have just a regular blast. You have a power G. We do have a read option. That is the only play in this Jumbo Z week where it's actually going to go to the halfback. I do kind of wish they had another one, and this one is actually a read option. So we snap this and do nothing. It's going to actually go to our halfback, and look at him find some room in there. Big boys up front making some way for our halfback. So I do wish there was another, maybe like a toss or some other run that goes to the actual halfback in this formation. But I think between the zone, power G can be really good with that right guard pulling to help set the edge too. But with that zone and halfback wrap and blast, so that's 3 different quarterback runs. Or you could do power G instead of zone, whatever. It's all the same concept. Zone or power G kind of goes outside to the right for a quarterback run. You can cut it inside if you want to. Halfback wrap is going to be quarterback run going to the left. Blast is going to be quarterback run going right up the gut. You have a read option too to potentially go to the right or to the left. That I love in this one formation, we have 3 quarterback runs that go left, middle, right. Keep them on their toes, keep them guessing. They don't know what to do. They start overcommitting to the run. They start actually run committing or sending gigantic blitzes, PA cross, where we're going to have, you know, what is that, 7 guys blocking, 2 out on routes, and your quarterback with those chip things those tight ends are on. So Jumbo Z week, love it. Great way to start us off here. You could probably just run this for an entire game and drive people insane. But we got 4 more formations to look at. So next is going to be you off trips. This one does not have a quarterback package. We got a whole lot of different packages we can do. Nothing to actually put a quarterback in the backfield. And there's going to be no actual pass plays in this formation. But we got quite a few good looking runs. Now I will say, there's 2 DIY reverses here, right? One's going to our slot receiver, one's going to our second halfback in the backfield. The one going to your slot receiver doesn't work. I'm going to call the one going to the halfback first, A on this screen. And we'll see, you know, if you've run a DIY reverse before, you understand how this works. We'll get that LB icon will pop up over Johnson Jr. That'll tell us when we can hand it off and turn this into a reverse right there. I'm just doing it just to do it. That wasn't the right read. I understand that. Okay, I get it. I'm just trying to make a point here. Where this DIY reverse actually works how it should. Well, I actually kept that one. Actually saw a little space up there, but this one actually works like it should, where we can snap it, LB pops up, you just hand it off right back to Telly Johnson Jr. or whatever team you're using, whatever the halfback's name is. Now we compare that to the other DIY reverse in here, and you'll see that LB icon does not show up. If we do LB to try to actually get this to the slot receiver, it's just a regular pitch. It just goes nowhere. We don't have the option to actually give this one to our slot receiver. Let's see if we can, I mean, you can, if you're feeling really risky, you can still just do the pitch and hope it works. But without that icon coming up, he never actually hands it off to the guy like we see the motion in the other DIY reverse. So this one's a little bit riskier, but it also works as just a good kind of run to the outside. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mr. Duke. This is all American. I swear it's all American difficulty. and NIU's just that good. But yeah, that DIY reverse going to our slot receiver on the left there doesn't really work. It still kind of works as just a run out to the left, but we're losing a blocker by having that guy go in motion. So I don't know why you would ever really do that unless you're just trying to throw some people off guard, because we do have another run actually going out to the left here with blast weak, where our left guard is going to pull and try to set the edge for your running back to get around that left side instead of doing it the DIY reverse type of way. The other three runs we have here now, this I'm not the biggest fan of because they're all just a little too similar for me. You know, QB wrap, it has our second halfback kind of, it's like an inside zone split kind of. He's trying to go get the backside there. We got a right guard pulling along with one of our tight ends to try to set that edge over on the right. But I really don't like having the power and the power extra. The only real difference between these two is our far left tight end is going to fill that gap the pulling left guard is going to. I don't know when you would, I just said I don't know like 3 straight times. When you would call one versus the other, I would always call power extra, in my opinion. But wrap, that can work good if they're really catching you from behind, because a lot of these will leave that left guy of the defense will kind of come in free and potentially bring your quarterback down from behind, where, you know, with an inside zone split type of run, we actually got him going and blocking that way. But between power extra, the blast weak, and potentially the DIY reverse, I've never had the best luck with those, but I do think they're pretty dang fun. You got some solid runs here in the U off trips. Now to Wildcat Unbalanced, we do have a quarterback package in here somewhere. Yeah, quarterback or backup quarterback, but what we'll notice is it does kind of change our alignment over there on the right. So you really don't need to put a quarterback in here because the best pass in here is going to your quarterback anyway. So you do have PA jet sweep, which isn't bad, but of course we have jet reverse pass. People, if you've gone against South Carolina in Road to the College Football Playoff, for example, you know this play. It is so freaking good, and this one just goes to your starting quarterback out there anyway, because we got Macon as our X receiver. What I have noticed with this though, because I don't run these very much, is your buttons actually change. So this is showing Givens is going to be B and our wheel route is going to be RB. Not going to be the case when we actually run this play. So boop, boop, boop. Now it's actually RB going deep over the middle there. And that's actually the best defense against it, is just kind of send a big blitz and don't give the offense time to get that throw off. But we can see how wide open it is. And again, and then switches to RB. So just something to be aware of, but great one play potential touchdown if they don't see this coming. If you're setting them up, even if you're in Unbalanced and running some of these other plays first and then hit them with that double or that jet reverse pass, awesome way to catch people off guard. But we also have PA jet sweep, another really solid looking pass play out of here, where this one you'd probably want to go to one of the quarterback packages. I'm not going to for now, just because, but another really good play action pass. Again, you know, no hot routes, no audibles, no nothing. But what's interesting about this is because it's that unbalanced formation where our Y receiver is, our tight end is typically where your left tackle is. People might not be able to see that one coming, and especially based on their alignment. Really wish we could hot route, because like a streak or something on him I feel like would be really good. And I just don't like that A and RB are going so close to each other. But I love Applegate's route on this. Let's see if these boys hold up. Not really. Let's take a drag, and because I didn't actually change our package, Telly Johnson Jr. unable to hit that throw. Then we just have a little hook over here on the right too. You can get it out to our right flat there, but this is exactly why it's important to have that, be able to put your quarterback in on some of these plays, that if you want to run this, 100% put your quarterback in. We can see how this ball is floating. That's like we're getting people open. Well, not that time. A lot of times we've been getting people open, but our halfback, believe it or not, struggles to actually make the throw. Let's see if we can get that in. Oh, we just didn't quite have time. We did have Applegate open on that one. So that's another good way to catch people off guard. The reverse pass is usually better for a one play touchdown, but that PA jet sweep, good if you're in a pickle, you know, a second and short, third and short, you're going to go for it on fourth down with one of the runs, try to pick it up with that play action pass. Then of course we have all the quarterback runs. These you would not probably, I don't know your quarterback situation, but probably not want your quarterback in there with the power, or you have the jet sweep going to your wide receiver over there on the left. A DIY reverse, I actually haven't tested if this one works out yet, so let's all take a look together and see if we can actually do the DIY portion of this. Nope. Sure can't, but get it anyway, Duke. Find some space, Duke. Okay. I mean, turn that into a loss of 6 ain't too bad. So it looks like all the DIY stuff out of here, and only that one we went over in Jumbo Z week is the only one that actually really seems to work. Because this one's all just, I still tried to pitch that. It's still, we're just not getting that option to hand it off to the actual reverse. So that's a little unfortunate, 'cause that can be such a good way to catch people off guard too. But so can counter, especially if we're running a lot of power or jet sweep, where we're getting that jet motion from our receiver over on the left, going to the right, then we're running it over to the right. Now we have that little counter that we can sneak and actually run it to the left with a couple of pullers. So if they're overcommitting to that motion going out to the right, bing, bang, boom, there you go. You can find some space out there. Now, Wildcat bunch halfback strong. Another one where we can put a quarterback in here. You can do quarterback 2. I thought there was just a regular quarterback one, but this one looks like it is just quarterback 2, because our actual quarterback is over out on the left here. Whereas in Unbalanced, he's kind of the stack receiver over on the right. So it's going to have a quarterback out on the left. So what we've got in here, we do have a read option, which is always a good thing to kind of have in our back pocket with a quarterback wrap. Again, kind of an inside zone split, kind of blocking there, where our second halfback is going to pick up anybody coming free from the left side of the defense, while our left tackle goes and pulls over to the right, along with our 2 guys over on the right, who are actually the wide receivers and a tight end, because our quarterback's actually out on the left. So we do want our runs going out to the right, where we're going to have those blockers. So something like QB wrap, very, very good. You have a PA read. I wish we had one more pass play out of here, but if you're on a hash mark or something like that, this PA read, I do like the looks of. We're getting that chip block from our tight end over there on the right, or over on the left. I flipped the play, excuse me, while also setting up a flood between the out and that corner route. It's really the run plays. Well, I mean, really, any version of Wildcat is much more about the run plays. But this is kind of like what we saw in that Jumbo Z week, where we have same formation, no motion, no anything given away, but runs attacking different areas of the field. We have an off tackle going to our halfback all the way out to the left. Again, it's only going to be your quarterback out there blocking anybody out there on the left. So be a little wary about that. But then we have a sweep, where whoever you are playing at quarterback is actually going to try to take one outside to the right. We have a speed option, which is a really tricky thing to throw in here behind the tight end and those 2 wide receivers going to the outside. A lot of potential in that, but really between the off tackle and sweep, I think that's a great 1-2 combination. Go outside to the left, outside to the right. You have a read option where you can run inside. You have a QB wrap where you can run inside. So this bunch halfback strong, I think, has got some really, really good combination of runs between these plays and being able to attack different areas of the field. So big fan of this one. Then the last formation we have got here, Jumbo Trio. Now there's some interesting packages in here where you can move different people around, put them in different spots. You can put 6 offensive linemen on the field, which I actually kind of like the looks of. You can put your quarterback in. This one, I don't think we really need to. We'll just put 6 linemen, sure, because we only got 3 plays and they're these 3 runs. So there's not much of a need to have your quarterback, unless he is like an Alonzo Barnett of James Madison, somebody with 90 speed, workhorse, somebody who can take these hits. The only thing we can do here is run with the quarterback. Now we have a blast going up the middle, we have a power going to the right, or a sweep going to the right. So let's call power first, and then we're going to look at sweep and just try to kind of see what the differences are outside of just what we see in the play art. So our left guard is going to be pulling here on this power, and then, okay, so we kind of keep that one. We don't go all the way outside with that one. These I'll typically snap and just not really touch anything and see where they run by themselves, because that will give you an idea of how the play is designed and where they want it to go. And then we just kind of cut it up right through there. Okay, so power, we're kind of going, what is that, C gap almost between our tackle. Well, we have 6 offensive linemen, so it kind of makes things a little trickier. Whereas sweep, if we snap and don't do anything, I'd imagine this is going more to the outside. Yeah, see, everybody's kind of crashing in, trying to set that edge so we can take sweep all the way to the outside. Everybody's trying to get out there. Oh, that actually worked out where we can push that more inside. Okay, so the biggest difference obviously is the pullers. This has our guard and our tackle pulling over to the right side, while the right side of our offensive line is kind of pushing back over to the left. A little bit easier potentially to get outside. We might need to wait a second to try to get these guards out front, because those are some slow boys. These guys on the outside are getting in a little quickly, but not bad. Okay, I think first glance, I think I like power. Can I actually flip this with the right stick? Oh, we can. Oh my. Oh, don't mind if we do. And that was a perfect example of when to do it. They way overloaded that right side. So now that unlocks some things in this formation. If we can flip this and have it go left or right without changing anything, can we do it with power too? That unlocks a whole new level to something like this, where, you know, you come out in this, it's all pretty much runs to the right. But now we can actually flip it and have a run going over to the left. Something to keep in mind in a playbook like this. So they overload that right side because all the runs by default go to that right side. We flip it to the left and we find a little bit of space. Now we're talking. I didn't even know I could do that. But my goodness, do I love the looks of it. So going through the whole Wildcat playbook of Northern Illinois. The passes, you know, you got PA cross here and Jumbo Z weak. You got a couple good ones in Wildcat Unbalanced. The one play touchdown of reverse pass, PA jet sweep. You got PA read and bunch halfback strong. Other than that, of course, it is going to be all runs. But between the different formations, we can easily attack every area of the field because certain formations just have runs where you can attack every area of the field. Between zone and halfback wrap here on Jumbo Z weak, we're going outside to the right or to the left. We have a blast going up the middle, or you have a read option or a power G. You off trips, you have an actual DIY reverse or a broken DIY reverse with a blast weak, then go outside to the left. QB wrap, power, power extra. Unbalanced, you have the power and the jet sweep with the jet motions, runs going out to the right. Power, I love the looks of that one because we're bringing in an extra blocker and we're having a pulling guard. That's a lot of meat going over to the right side of that field. Or we have a counter run where we're using that same motion but actually going to the left side of the field. Bunch halfback strong. This is probably be the one I would sit in the most between QB wrap with a run going to the right with your quarterback. I'm always just going to call it quarterback. If you've gotten this far, I think you understand. Read option in there. You got the sweep trying to get outside with your quarterback, an off tackle going to the halfback, actually outside to the left, and a sneaky little speed option running behind all your beef in this Wildcat formation, and the jumbo trio with the runs we can flip using that right stick. Really quick, I'm actually going to check if we can do that on any of these other ones. So if we come out in like power from you off trips, can this get flipped too? It can. It can. Man. Okay. These formations we really don't need to. This would just be more based on whatever the defense they're coming out in is. Because we have the plays that can attack different areas of the field anyway. So it was really good in that jumbo trio because we only had the runs that were going outside to the right. We can flip them and actually make them go to the left. But if you're in you off trips and you want to run going to the left, you could just call something like blast weak, but it is nice with those powers because then you set up the pullers and everything to go that side. Well, I mean, while we're here, why not? I probably should have checked this beforehand, but like power G, can we flip this one too? There's no way. No, okay. Power G we cannot. Let's see. Maybe this formation we just can't just because of how it's lined up. Let's go with just like blast and see if we can flip that one even. Flip. No. Okay. So Jumbo Z weak we cannot. You off trips we can. Jumbo trio we can. Bunch halfback strong we can. Can we? Did I check this? I don't know if I actually did. Let's call sweep. I don't think we'd be able to on this one. No. Okay. That makes sense just from an alignment point of view. But you off trips we could. Jumbo trio we can make those runs go to the right or to the left, add an extra little layer of nastiness into this NIU Wildcat playbook. So if you have tried this before, please let me know how it went. How does it go? Or if you're trying it for the first time, let me know. I think there's a ton of potential here, at the very least to be incredibly annoying to go against, which is kind of the whole point of this. So you guys will have to let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you guys enjoy your upcoming holidays. I will see you next time. Until then, take it easy.